What's up, everybody? I am Gregg Sugerman. You are a real estate agent. All right, cool. So let's do a quick experiment here. So raise your hand if you don't deal with procrastination. All right? Seems the result of my experiment is already in. Here we go. Says here, if your hand is up, you're lying. And that's because it's something that we all deal with, right? We all battle procrastination at different points. But it's a matter of how often you procrastinate and to what extent. How much is it affecting your own personal growth and the growth of your business? How much is it really holding you back? Now, if you've ever wondered why you procrastinate, my answer to that might surprise you, because my answer is this: who cares? Why do people procrastinate? I don't know. I don't care. Seriously, who cares, right? If my Wi-Fi isn't working, I call the guy or the gal and I ask them to fix it. I don't necessarily care what's wrong with it. Just make the dang thing work. So if you're like me, sometimes you just don't care while you're doing something. You just want it fixed. So let's get this fixed for you right here and right now. Sounds good? All right, cool. So I'm gonna show you a few strategies. Now, each one of these strategies are simple as hell, and each one of them are crazy effective. But before I do that, a couple of things to keep in mind. They just mentioned that these strategies are simple as hell. But for a lot of people, especially ambitious high achievers like yourself, that can actually be a trap. And so this might be a little difficult to hear, but I need you to accept the fact that 95% of the time, the answers you're looking for, the solutions to your challenges, they're way simpler than you think they are. I just made that number up, but it's high, whatever the number is. It's like, for some reason though, we think things need to be complicated and involved, and I'm telling you, it's a lie, it's a story, it's nonsense, okay? Things can and should be simple. It's what I believe, it's what I'm all about. Like my main man, Tony Robbins says, complexity is the enemy of execution. Also, become aware of the fact that procrastination, man, that's not who you are. It's not who you are, it's something you do. Most of the time, it's just a habit. It's like you do it because you're used to doing it, and so you keep doing it because that's what you do. And so never, ever, ever use language like I am a procrastinator, because no, you're not. It's an act, it's something you do, you're doing it, you are procrastinating, okay? It is a behavior. And that's actually great news, guys, because a behavior can be modified, it can be changed, but modifying your identity, it's a much harder ticket to punch. It's why so many people have trouble with weight loss or quitting smoking, that kind of thing, because they identify with it. It's who they are to them, right? So thank you for coming to my TED Talk. All right, strategies, right? Let's get to it. Super simple but effective strategy number 1. 2 words, just start. So oftentimes the hardest part of any task is just getting started. So your biggest barrier to getting more done is just to start, right? When we're faced with something we have to do and we're just putting it off and putting it off, we're generally looking at the whole thing, the whole picture, right? It's like, I have an hour blocked off to make phone calls, or I have to update contacts in my CRM for 90 minutes. So the task seems big, and then we wind up kicking the can down the road. I'm saying just forget about the entire task. Just start. That's the goal. That's the win. Like training for a marathon, right? 26.2 miles seems daunting, but just getting out there for a day, your first day of training and running a mile, that seems doable. Just start. Get the damn thing started and then make the decision to put it off if need be, right? So this ties in perfectly with just start. Ridiculously simple, but works nonetheless. Strategy numero dos is the 5-minute rule. Now the 5-minute rule is brilliant in its simplicity, okay? Whatever it is that you're putting off, okay, you commit to doing that task for 5 minutes. That's it, 5 minutes, no less, and more importantly, no more. You start, okay, and you must stop after 5 minutes. Now, you can do anything for 5 minutes, right? Dreading making calls, so you keep putting it off. Okay, 5 minutes, 5 measly minutes of phone calls, and after that, off the hook. No pun intended. You know you should be marketing yourself on social media, right? But you're just not all that comfortable doing it, or you're not sure what to say, and so you block time off to do it like a few times a week, and you just ignore those time blocks. 5 minutes. Guys, block off 5 minutes. Come up with an idea for a post and then post it, or tell yourself that for 5 minutes you're gonna kind of devote your time and attention and full focus to that one task. Now, the 5-minute rule works for the same reason Just Start does, okay? Because just starting a task is your biggest obstacle if you're procrastinating. And so once something is started, it becomes infinitely easier to complete. Okay, the reason why is something called the sigarnik effect. Now, I don't remember who old sigarnik was, someone back in the 30s, I think, or the 40s. But the idea here is that once a loop is open, our minds want to close it. It's like, have you ever started watching a movie and the movie's awful, but you just keep watching it? Okay, that's the sigarnik effect. Your mind has that loop opened and it wants it completed. So if you can kind of flip your perspective, right, and just focus on starting, okay, or at the most executing on your task for 5 minutes, it's almost like you're outsmarting that part of your brain that has you procrastinating. So again, simple strategies, guys, but they work. So if you find yourself procrastinating, I would love for you guys to try that, see what you think. Now, that is it for me. I always love making this content for you, love making these videos. I have a lot of fun doing it. If you want to learn more about, if you want to go deeper into any of these strategies, right? If you want to learn what it's like to work with me one-on-one, what I can do to help you in your real estate business. Very simple. You can reply under this post if you're seeing it somewhere on social media, reply to an email if you're getting it that way. You can send me a direct message or just head over to my website, greggsugerman.com. Check out the About page on there, or rather the Work With Me page. I think they're actually the same page on my site. I'll give you a ton more information on what I can do for you and your business. So that's GreggSugerman.com. And hope this helped. And I'll talk to you guys soon.